Hello everybody and welcome back to the best reactions. Today we are diving into the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, the reactions that you have made, some controversial, some funny moments, some things that we might want to rant about. And this is exactly the place to be. So let's dive straight into the top 10. Taking home one singular point in the championship that doesn't exist is at Ruad Staghorn. Oh, how he wish he could go back. Sonoda. Does he wish he could go back? It's not going as badly. Obviously, this weekend, not ideal. But Bahrain, he scored some points, didn't he? And I would say that there's not going to be a huge amount of regret yet. If he can continue to improve and get into Q3 and be somewhere near the top, then maybe. However, obviously Racing Bulls are still doing pretty well. Hadjar's performing impressively, and you have to say that Sonoda would probably still have that edge over him, but the ceiling isn't high enough at Racing Bulls. You get a few points and that's about it. Red Bull, if you can manage that bull, could have gone for a better sentence, then you might get a podium. P9 at Harrison Hayton 1. Leclerc podium in capital letters. I used to pray for times like this, and I love the little Ferrari outfit that's going on right now. This mixed emotions, right? You've got on one side, you're happy that Charles is on the podium for the first time this year. On the other side, you then go, wow, is this how far we've fallen that a P3 feels like a small victory at this stage of 2025. But yes, it is, even though, Ferrari changed their car and they, decided, let's change everything for 2025. Let's use a lot of resource to try and win the championship. And we're still not that close. However, grippy tracks seem we do better. So fingers crossed for more of that, please. P8, I am Lord Vile. That one balcony trying to confuse Oscar. I have not seen that troll face for so many years. And you know that I like a terribly constructed meme. One that you've definitely loaded up paint and just chucked a few things in. That's the level of memeability that I have. So you still deserve a place in the top 10. You're going to get it. Was it a troll? Was it just... I don't know. I haven't seen actually the confirmation of who or what was doing that, but the fact that Oscar genuinely slowed down thinking it was a red flag, you need to get rid of that. Okay, before we dive into the top 7, I wanted to talk about something that I found very weird and wanted to bring it up with you lot. So in free practice 3, Isaac Hadjar was over on the team radio complaining about his drink system essentially spilling and complaining, right? Saying that it's pretty annoying. He was by no means rude, aggressive, or anything. He was just obviously in the car around one of the most intense circuits, if not the most intense circuit on the calendar, trying to learn in free practice 3, and he's got water all up in his helmet. And so he delivers that, and his engineer asks him to keep his tone down, as if he's a child in school and the teacher is telling him off. It was an utterly bizarre team radio communication. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. I sadly can't play it for you. But I was like, relax. He's done nothing wrong. Okay, into 7th place we go. Illusion F1. Charles' team radios have been chef's kiss perfect. They have. There's been 2 amazing things about Ferrari's season. Well, maybe, Hamilton had a sprint win. But in terms of other things away from the track, because we haven't had much to celebrate, the team radios, for sure, have been utter class. They have been phenomenal. We've had so many meme-worthy moments. Wish we hadn't, to be honest with you, if I want Leclerc's success. But it's been great to listen to. And also the fact that the pit stops have been the best on the grid by a mile. So I have to praise Ferrari right here, right now. Another 2.0 pit stop in this race. And I want to see more of that when we're fighting for victories. And I say when, not if. When we're fighting for victories, I need more 2.0 pit stops. Thank you. Okay, in 6th place, at Joe Formula 6P. This is just the most ridiculous meme I've seen in a long time. Ant had ham. Oh, I love it. It's brilliant. Combining the names, that is not one because I like to do that when I'm watching. I'm sure you do at home as well. Maybe when it's a bit boring, what three drivers could make a silly sentence. That one's brilliant. Okay, let's get into some honourable mentions. At Manny J. Kim, Christian Horner's proof that Max was ahead of Oscar. He did print it out. And this is what kind of annoys me with screenshots of racing incidents, is that it doesn't tell the full story. You can screenshot that, it shows Max ahead, but it also doesn't show the fact he's never making the corner. Why are we missing that very key fact that Verstappen has slingshot his way through turn 1, trying to get to the apex first, which is not the racing I like watching because it just causes moments like this. But this screenshot doesn't tell anything. It doesn't tell us anything, and I think it's so silly that people are sharing this as evidence because it's not. It doesn't tell anywhere near the full story. At Twacky24, Mad Max. I don't even know what this meme is. It's interesting. Max was mad, so thank you for that. At BurnCerry38353, the law is the law, says the Stewarts. I am the law. I'm still processing Max being so angry after the race yesterday. It felt like it was a combination of the disappointment that he felt that he didn't win the race from pole position, and also that he was aggrieved about these rules that I think need fully clarifying, not just for the drivers, which they may well have done, but for us as fans. You can barely find things online to clarify exactly what the rules are for inside and outside overtaking, and apparently they've been changing into this year. Where's the clarity? We need all of this. At the BS Boy, George Russell right now. Sake. This meme template, it does give me a lot of joy. But George Russell, he was not the tyre whisperer this time out. And the final honourable mention goes to at F1 Oscar to Zach and Stella. Look at me, I'm the main driver now. Do we think so? Do we genuinely think Oscar is now the main driver? He's 10 points ahead of Lando in the championship. I don't think so, because I don't think McLaren have the, as I like to call, minerals to deploy such a thing, because they're two number one drivers. Zach Brown says it in every single interview you'll ever see with him. Yeah, they're two number one drivers. I'm looking forward to them having wheel-to-wheel action. I think he pretty much suggested that they will have an incident at some point, which is wild. But yeah, this is how McLaren will be, which is great for fans watching. When you actually look at it from a sporting, you're trying to win the Drivers' and the Constructors' Championship, doesn't make a lot of sense. Not that I'm saying that they should back a driver right now. 10 points between them, they should be able to fight. But if one is 60 clear, you kind of have to make a decision. Right, it's controversial opinion time, which means it's Tom Bellingham time, and that is a great time of the day if you're asking me. Tommy, we've got the controversial opinion here, and it's from Julie_Pifer. Max was penalised for the exact same move that Lewis did during lap 1 of Abu Dhabi 2021, and Lewis wasn't penalised for it. I understand why Max was livid. No. Now, this one is an interesting one. Do you want to pop off immediately, Tommy, on this? Or
I can do.
Yeah, you know what? Hands off the wheel. Tommy, take the wheel.
As a Max fan, it's a different incident, so it's not the same. Max was overtaking Lewis there. So, I've got my opinions on that incident, and I think that Lewis should have given the position back. I know some people don't. I see why it's controversial. Yeah, he went for a massive dive bomb. He's going for the World Championship. He made the corner, but it's a different incident from lap 1, cars going side by side and Max being on the back foot and sweeping around the outside. How can you compare that to when someone's actually making a move at like the 5th turn and dive bombing into the corner to try and make a move? You can't. You're not comparing apples with apples here, so it's not the same incident. You need to take an example of sweeping around the outside. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's. There's a few things to this. One being what we've just discussed. One was attacking, the other one was defending. Obviously, Hamilton defending the position. Max was trying to go for the move in this particular example from Saudi. But also in 2021, the overtaking rules were different. There were obviously different people in charge, Michael Massey, the GOAT, and the stewards as well. Like, the stewards have changed, but most importantly is the rules, that they were clarified, I think, going into last year. What I don't like as much, and I've sort of mentioned this in this video anyway, was that it's not entirely clear, set in stone, where these rules are for fans. I think that's why there's so much confusion, because the only thing fans can go off, if it's not readily accessible to have these rules to just read in simple layman's terms, they're going to compare it to other incidents and go, well, why was this a penalty and this wasn't? So I can completely understand why, Julie has this comment, because Formula One is such a difficult sport to understand, especially when the goalposts constantly move, but the goalposts haven't been sort of described in an easy way for everyone to know exactly what's going on going into a season.
It is ridiculous that like you say, go into a season and we're hearing that overtaking rules have changed, but we don't know them as fans. It's just stupid. Yeah,
because Max is saying in his interview, the rules have been clarified, or whatever he said in his interview after the race, and I'm sat there going, what was it?
And what's annoying, and this is another debate, is he's the reason he can't vocalize his opinion is because the FIA are trying to clamp down on drivers having personalities and actually going against what the FIA have decided, which, heaven forbid, a driver is annoyed that I said it in the podcast, I think Max deserved the penalty there, but heaven forbid he doesn't think that. Of course he's not going to think that he deserves a penalty. And clearly in his mind, he's adamant that there is some kind of rule or something in that regulation, because Max knows them better than anyone and he drives to the limit of them, that he thinks there's something there, but he's not allowed to voice it because, they're being, the FIA want to put, gaffer tape on people's mouths and sit in your place and have no personality.
Yeah, we are living in a dictatorship now in Formula One, headed by MBS, and I don't like it, Tommy. I would like for Max to be able to express his opinion as to why he believes he shouldn't have got a penalty, and it kind of affects everything moving forward from there. Max doesn't want to talk because he's scared of getting a penalty. Like, what is this going to actually create in the sport that we love? We will have to wait and see. But thank you, Tommy, for the controversial opinion, and thank you, everybody, for looking at Tommy's face. Bye.
Goodbye.
P5 at Ned Halifax. Strategy in the last two races. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Bahrain was such a great time, wasn't it? It was such a great time, full of just colours. Medium, soft, hard, hard. Medium, hard, medium, hard, soft. Oh, it's just glorious. And then Saudi Arabia. And then just pain and misery of a one-stop strategy. At least Lando did something slightly different to make it interesting. At least Leclerc went slightly long with an overcut, but that was the limit. That was the extent, apart from the back three just going for the most audacious one-stop strategy you've ever seen after the safety car. It just wasn't enough for us. Okay, we're into another moment in the video where we get away from the top 10, and I want to have a little rant. Okay, just a little one, just a smidge, little seasoning of ranting, and it is MBS, Mohammed bin Sulayem. I, as a fan, and I think this is quite a popular feeling, I don't want to see him around the drivers after the race, on the podium, wherever it might be, and him kind of just thrusting his image in front of everybody, trying to be this big figurehead, when there are clear issues with the drivers and him. There are. You look at Max, and you see these pictures of him wagging his finger at Max. This is MBS, and it's just awkward. Like, you're trying to be this massive big dog that the drivers must obey, but they don't respect you. So all it just comes across as just so forced. And fix the problems within the sport and how you're ruling the FIA, rather than just constantly trying to come across in these moments like everything's great, let's shake the driver's hands and things like that, when they don't want to talk to you. Rant over. P4 at Formula latest. Verstappen to Piastri after their turn 1 instant. You dare use my own spells against me, Potter. I love that. That is a fantastic Harry Potter reference. But it's true, right? Max, in the literal... put it the other way around. Max does that every single day of the week and says exactly the same thing as what Oscar said over the team radio. There is no way Max goes, yeah, fair enough, that's in the rules, that he obviously believes to be that he was alongside in this particular occasion. No way. Max is complaining, saying he's off the track and he wasn't alongside. I had the corner, yada, yada, yada. Oscar fought back. Off to the podium we go. Turn to page 394. Well done, Charles. Thank you, Brian. This is such a good meme to showcase what actually happened with this team radio. They finally seem to be gelling a little bit more, and just such a calm, considering the track that they were racing around and the exhaustion that they felt afterwards. It was such a, oh, jolly good. Oh, well done. Yeah, congrats. It was another great team radio. At Nell Megan, George, my tyres are toast. I like this. And a lovely little Photoshop here from Nell Megan. It's... to be fair, there's even a reply to it that says, totally see this making it to the funniest tweets video. And Karimbo was right. It did make it. Sadly, just missing out on the top spot. Hashtag P1 if you want to get involved next time and win some P1 merch if you get top spot. But yes, George Russell struggled town, but still scored good points and is very much still in the Drivers' Championship hunt as an underdog. Okay, before we get into number one, I have to share this. From JTF1. Did people miss this? Might be the most badly worded tweet from an F1 team in a while. I've been told this was deleted real quick. Not the greatest structure of a sentence I've ever seen. Some people read it correctly, some people read it incorrectly. And yeah, safer, it's definitely safer to delete and try again. And finally, the winner of the Saudi Arabian Best Reactions is at F1 Madness _ Max's emotional scale from Saturday to Sunday. I loved this. It just told the story so beautifully as to the two different team radios. Simply lovely, which we heard, I think, in qualifying, and then bloody lovely. I think it was bloody. It was bleeped out, right? Maybe it was an F-bomb. Either way, so different. The Max on Saturday to the Max on Sunday. My goodness me. Well done, F1 Madness _ You have won some P1 merch. I'll be in contact to give you more information. Right, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the best reactions to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Hopefully we have more meme-worthy moments over the course of the rest of the season. Thank you for getting involved, as always. Hashtag P1 if you haven't done that already and you want to get involved in this series. It's all very much good fun. A week off now. Then it's Miami, sprint race, one practice session. It should be pretty saucy, maybe. It's Miami, so we'll wait and see. But thank you, everybody. We'll see you very soon. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye!